Let's move on to our next story this morning. This time we are going to Ghana. The Lebanese Embassy in Accra has called on Ghanaian law enforcement bodies to arrest the Lebanese court in viral tape threatening to slit the throat of a Ghanaian. The bearded man captured in the viral video that you can see on the screen and you will be seeing in a short while was wielding a sword from a sheath and was heard screaming as a group of Ghanaian men tried to calm him down in the heat of the moment at the Osu Oxford Street. The video you're about to see, by the way, we must warn, can be disturbing.
Yeah, somebody in the shop. Why you take this down here? Come on. Well, I'll get you there. Come on. Come on. Bob, come on. Yeah.
Embassy has condemned the act, calling on the police to investigate and take appropriate measures against the offender. Joining us on the program this morning to give us more insight on the happenings which occurred that day, we have Wilberforce Asare, editor, political and legal desk, Asase Radio. Many thanks for joining us this morning. Now, any news about the arrest of this man in question by the police?
Indeed, yes. He has been arrested. He goes by the name Osman Bustani, and he is said to be a businessman who works here in Ghana. The police arrested him yesterday, and he is being processed to be presented before court. Now, the rules in Ghana are that once someone is arrested, the police can detain the person for 48 hours. After 48 hours, the police are required to present the person before a court of competent jurisdiction.
All right,
and this court of competent jurisdiction will now determine whether the person will be granted bail or not. And so as we stand, it's just about 24 hours since he was arrested. So hopefully within the next 24 hours, he should be presented before court. It is possible that he will be presented before a circuit court here in the greater Accra region, the capital of Ghana.
All right, now we saw that viral video that went all over social media, and we only saw the part where he was agitated. There's a back end to this agitation. Do we know what causes agitation? Do we know if he was tempted or frustrated or even given some form of abuse by the people in question?
Okay, so where this issue happened is called the Oxford Street, and the Oxford Street is in the heart of the capital city in a suburb called Osu. So anybody who has been to Accra before would know that the Oxford Street is a very busy street. That is where people sell artifacts, and there are several banks on that street. There are food joints on that street. And so anybody who will visit Accra from any other part of the world will certainly come to Osu Oxford Street to do some kind of a business. Now, this man is said to be a businessman who pulled over his car in front of someone who was selling items by the street. And after an hour of blocking this person from doing his business, this Lebanese man shows up. And so the man asked him to move his car from there so that he can go about his business and to do what he does for a living. And that is what precipitated the action that you see in the video. But again, I think I need to emphasize that in Ghana, the people from the Lebanese extraction have been part and parcel of our lives. I grew up in the greater Accra region, and some 30 years ago, I had Lebanese people who were my classmates and my playmates in my area where I grew up. So it should just tell you that the Lebanese people have been part and parcel of the Ghanaian body fabric. And indeed, in Ghana now, most of the businesses that are around are owned by Lebanese persons, and they employ a lot of Ghanaians. And so the Lebanese people have interacted with Ghanaians for a very long time. Some of them actually have Ghanaian passports because they were born in Ghana. Their parents have lived here and given birth to them. And I will not be surprised if this particular man in question has a Ghanaian passport. And so that's the level of interaction that we have had with Lebanese people. For example, when COVID-19 hit, one of the things that the government did was to set up a fund. Now, in this fund, it was the COVID-19 fund. It was the Lebanese community in Ghana that contributed the biggest amount to the fund. So they contributed about 2.4 million Ghana cedis. That's equivalent of about $350,000. No other group of people contributed that amount of money. I'm just painting this picture for you to know that as much as this man, being a Lebanese, may have caused some trouble, the Ghanaian community has a long-standing relationship with Lebanese people. And I don't think that that relationship is going to be sacrificed by just this one-man action.
All right, now let's also understand, because he was wielding a sword. What is the legality for carrying weapons? Are we supposed to have some form of certification in Ghana, or can anybody just walk around with any weapon of destruction, mass or lethal?
Indeed, it is completely prohibited in our country for anybody to carry a weapon without license. And the weapon here not just being a gun or, when I say gun, I mean people carry guns, handguns, and all that kind of things. But any weapon that is carried, you will require licensing before you can use it anywhere in the country. And so, to the extent that this man was carrying such a deadly weapon, and if you look at it, it is a knife that has a covering, and so you could see that this is something that was like prepared. This man has this thing either in his car or somewhere, and so it is completely prohibited. In recent time in Ghana, the police have had occasion to arrest people who brandish a gun even on social media. And so, for example, we have had a musician arrested and arraigned before the court. His case is currently before the court because he took a gun, brandished it on social media, and was showing it off. Another time, a military officer on the 1st of January 2022 was seen at a very busy location in our country. It's more like a mall. It's called the ANC Mall at East Legon. It's a plush area in our country. And being a military officer, he was seen shooting his gun because it was a new year. He was arrested and he was court-martialed, even though he's a military officer and he had license to carry that gun. And so really, this particular happening is not palatable. And certainly, this man is going to be charged with several offenses. The ones that come to mind for me is the first one would be threatening to kill somebody. I don't know whether it was based on any level of provocation. We don't see that in the video, but that is a very serious offense in our country. And again, holding an offensive weapon in public, perhaps without license. And so he's found himself in trouble. And I'm very certain that our police forces and police prosecution, who have demonstrated time and again with such events, are capable of prosecuting this matter. And I can assure you that the correspondence from court, of which I'm one of them, will be following this matter keenly because it's obviously of public interest.
Thank you so much. It's glad to know that you're also following this matter, and thank you for talking to us. Well, we look forward to hearing an update, and don't forget to feed us with that when we come back to you. Thank you, Wilberforce, for being here on Breakfast Central.